5 years ago, I was broke, like ramen for every meal broke. I was drowning in debt, living paycheck to paycheck, and constantly stressed about money. But today, I'm financially stable, debt-free, and even saving for my future. If you're feeling stuck in a similar situation, don't worry. I'm going to walk you through the exact steps I took to turn my financial life around. The first step was tracking my spending. I downloaded a free budgeting app. You can use anything, like Mint or YNAB, and started recording every single purchase. And I mean everything. Coffees, groceries, even that $3 snack I didn't really need. At the end of the month, I reviewed my spending, and it was a wake-up call. I realized I was wasting hundreds of dollars on things that didn't matter. Tracking my expenses helped me see where my money was going and where I could cut back. It's not about judging yourself. It's about understanding your habits so you can make better choices. Next, I created a budget. I used the 50-30-20 rule. 50% of my income went to needs like rent, utilities, and groceries. 30% went to wants like dining out and entertainment. And 20% went to savings and debt payments. At first, sticking to the budget was hard. I had to say no to things I wanted but didn't need, like eating out with friends or buying clothes on impulse. But over time, it became easier. I started seeing progress. My debt was shrinking, and my savings were growing. That progress kept me motivated to stick with it. A budget isn't a restriction. It's a plan for your money to work for you. Then, I cut unnecessary expenses. I canceled subscriptions I didn't use, like that streaming service I forgot I even had. I stopped eating out every day and started meal prepping at home. Not only was it cheaper, but it was also healthier. I also shopped around for cheaper alternatives for things like my phone plan and gym membership. These small changes added up quickly. In just a few months, I was saving an extra $200 a month, money I could put toward my debt and savings. Cutting expenses doesn't mean depriving yourself. It's about prioritizing what truly matters to you. With the extra money, I started paying off my debt. I used the debt snowball method, paying off the smallest debts first while making minimum payments on the rest. Every time I paid off a debt, I felt a sense of accomplishment, which kept me going. It wasn't easy, and it took time, but I stayed consistent. I also avoided taking on new debt by using cash or a debit card instead of credit cards. Eventually, I paid off all my credit cards and student loans. Being debt-free was a game changer. It freed up so much of my income for saving and investing. If you're in debt, remember, every payment you make is a step closer to financial freedom. Once my debt was under control, I built an emergency fund. I started small, saving just $10 a week. Over time, I increased it to cover 3 months of living expenses. This safety net was a lifesaver when unexpected expenses came up, like car repairs or medical bills. Instead of going back into debt, I used my emergency fund and stayed on track with my financial goals. An emergency fund isn't just nice to have. It's essential for staying financially stable. Finally, I started investing. I opened a retirement account and began putting a small percentage of my income into index funds. Even though I started with just $50 a month, I knew that consistency was key. Over time, thanks to compound interest, those small investments grew. I also learned about other investment options, like ETFs and high-yield savings accounts, to diversify my portfolio. Investing felt intimidating at first, but starting small and staying consistent made it manageable. Remember, you don't need to be an expert to start investing. You just need to start. Going from broke to financially stable wasn't easy, but it was worth it. If I can do it, so can you. Start today, track your spending, make a budget, and take it one step at a time. Remember, progress is progress, no matter how small. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments. What's your biggest financial challenge right now? Let's work on it together.